I don't know if you've ever seen some of those celebrities out there comment on political issues, religious issues, economic issues, you name it. Issues that honestly they don't probably know a whole heck of a lot about considering they're actors or they're basketball players or football players. But there seems to be a starstruckness in our culture when it comes to people of fame or people of celebrity. And we need to watch ourselves and how we adjudicate human beings, because imagine with me one of those stars came into the church. One of those people walked into our congregation. How would we respond? Would we be suddenly so excited that we'd be wanting to give them the grand tour, show them around, make sure that they wanted to come back and got the best vision of Jesus they ever got? Man, we're hoping that the sermon is the best sermon ever, or the worship never stinks, or something like that, right? Now, contrast that if somebody who is a complete stranger comes into the church that you don't even know. You didn't give them the time of day. You didn't take them on a tour. You weren't wondering how the worship was going to be that day. You didn't know if the sermon was great or not. You were just taking it as it is. And this is a danger in our hearts. James wants to warn us about. In fact, he tells us, my brothers, that we should show no partiality as you hold the faith in our Lord Jesus Christ. In fact, he gives an example of that kind of partiality we just spoke of. For if a man wearing a gold ring and fine clothing comes into your assembly, and a poor man in shabby clothing also comes in, and if you pay attention to the one who wears the fine clothing and say, you sit over here in a good place, while you say to the poor man, you sit over there or sit down at my feet, have you not then made distinctions among yourselves and become judges with evil thoughts? And it goes on to say, God chose the poor, and this is this whole picture here, but what James really is challenging us is, how are we thinking about people when they come to church? And I want to challenge us with our hospitality. Maybe this weekend when you get to church, maybe when you get to a Bible study or something, that it's not about running to the people who have the most influence in your life or the people that have the most influence in our culture, but instead is greeting some of those people you may not even know, giving them the grand tour, giving them the great hospitality, so that we would treat everyone like they're the celebrity. So we would treat everyone on an equal par, showing no partiality to anyone. Because our God's not going to show us partiality in eternity. Riches nor poverty say anything about who we are. It is simply about that we all need Jesus, regardless of where we stand. So let's treat everyone equally when they come to our church. Let's welcome them with open arms, excited that they're even with us. When we do that, we see a lot of people sticking around and finding Jesus Christ.